So I see people going against this take, and I honestly think if you do, you care more about being right than you do about your gains.
I think this is a pretty dishonest way to start off the video, to frame disagreement as ego rather than legitimate difference of opinion, but okay.
We have so much data to back squats when it comes to quad growth that to throw them out entirely makes absolutely no sense. And yes, this is even relative to leg extension.
But there isn't though. Like, if there was, then I wouldn't be so skeptical about it. Like, when I made my first squats not being necessary video like a year ago, one of my first criticisms were how wonky and like all over the place the outcome data is. Like, in this study that he showed, we see similar proximal vastus lateralis growth between a squat and a leg extension. Then we see atrophy in the middle region of the vastus lateralis, and then way more gains in the squat. And then when it comes to the distal region, we see way more gains
There's not worse
in the
growth in
leg
studies than
extension
you have.
compared to this. It's just all over the place. It doesn't make sense. You're telling me that the middle region atrophied during the leg extension? Like, the middle region of the rectum grew more in a squat than the distal region of the vastus lateralis? It grew more than the middle region of the vastus lateralis during a leg extension. Like, I will say, this study that he showed, which is pretty recent, like I think it dropped less than 2 weeks ago, is definitely more interesting and does favor squat gain more. Proximal region, it starts to trend a little bit more towards the squat pattern. In the middle region, it starts to trend a bit more. At least in this study, it doesn't say that the leg extension atrophied like it did in this study. And then we see the greatest difference with the distal region and it trending more towards the squat pattern, which is, by the way, the complete opposite of what this study said, where it says that I had way more growth in the leg extension and barely any growth in the squat pattern. This is what I mean by the data is all over the place. And listen, like I've said before, I'm open to changing my mind as new data comes out. And this is, a pretty good step in that direction. But I am not convinced yet, given how all over the place the hypertrophy data is, and also how EMG data shows that there's similar activation between the two exercises.